Part 4 of Anniversary is here. No one expected this part 4, but it's here. And it's based on the Sand siblings, well, two of them. And with that, since they're 90 cost gods, we also got brand new legendary potential along with it. And there's only two 90 cost sand units in the game, and they both got the legendary potential that they need. Are they worth it? Well, maybe. So let's start with this one. This is version 1 God Gada, who is an AoE attack. If the enemy is under Sandstorm God state, you deal 3 more additional attack. 450 is pretty good because with double damage, that's 900,000. And then he removes the enemy positive special state only. It doesn't do God state, sadly. If it did God state, then I think he'll be pretty usable. His S2 is a stat buff, healing, and then his Sandstorm is pretty much the important thing, which is a speed buff and chance to destroy terrain. Not bad. And then enemy speed minus 100% and chance to disable action. It's not bad, but there's probably better 5 village to use. Absolute defense is just a stat buff. There's his skills. The game as of today doesn't have his data yet for his legendary potential. That's why it doesn't show up as purple right here. But as a normal, pretty much double that damage. He doesn't do a lot of damage really. Well, that's not really his job. He's not really a DPS. And then his ability 1, chance to inflict sandstorm for all enemies in party. If there's one of these 3, it's guaranteed to inflict. He's pretty solid. 2 revives, not bad. So that's around like 70 million HP. Damage collect plus 50% against 40 cost. That doesn't matter. And if there's an Akatsuki enemy, fixed damage deals 0 damage. He's not bad. Damage cut plus 50%. And his potential, skill immunity, HP plus 200% if there's an Akatsuki. Skill damage plus 120. Attack, defense, and speed plus 25% per turn, max 75%. And then his forbidden, cancel, skip, terrain, chakra cost. He's not bad, but I would probably say he's in around S tier, maybe S. If you have him LP5, SS, because he's an AoE unit. So solid. But then the next unit who got it is GK Gada, and this unit is a monster. So he already is a monster when he first came out. He pretty much changed 3v3 since he can easily carry just any fight. And 3v3 got a major change where the maximum team cost doesn't exist. So you can run as many 90 calls as you want now. And if you have him with like a couple LPs, he's definitely going to be one in your team. So before we start with his skills, I think it's best if we start with his abilities, because that's where she shines. So his skill 1, his ability 1, changes his terrain to his. If there's a god enemy at the start of battle, grant love state and insta cast his skill 1. That's his bread and butter right there. And his ability 2, chance to grant instant action when attack, guaranteed if it's a god. 180 chakra and withstand plus 5, not bad. And he's yellow type advantage. I don't think you're gonna run him as lead, especially in 3v3, because you want cast speed. So with that, we go over his skill 1. There's a 1.4 million fixed damage, not bad. And if you're under the love state, you deal 10 additional attacks, dealing 100,000. And then you remove the enemy's god state. So yeah, at the start of battle, if there's an enemy god, especially in 3v3, you're just gonna insta cast this and defeat them. You can't even respond most of the time unless you come prepared. But if you're using him, which is most likely you want to, you can just pick against a team that can't stop you from doing this. So with that, his skill 2 is HP recovery. Olga Ara heals, grants love state, and then change the terrain. Love state is just attack speed, skill damage plus 200, and skill immunity. His terrain is for an ally, cancel all enemies when they're attacked by a god. And then for the sands allies, high chance for all type advantage. And then for enemies, skill dodge disable. This could be useful, but we're not in the meta of terrains at the moment. You can't even put up a terrain because of Kaguya, so I don't think this matters a lot. But it could be useful In 3v3 specialists, the terrain will go up, your level state will go up, and then you deal a 10 additional attack. You double that damage. It's pretty solid. So now we got 3 new units out here. Let's start with the very first one, which is a free unit, and it is PVP reward or champion Shikamaru. Champion Shikamaru is pretty solid especially for a free unit. So let's start with that. His skill 1 is shadow pitching, human boulder yo-yo. This is pretty much the skill that they use during the Ninja War, which they're from. You can see from right there in the vest. So what it does is it deals 1 million fixed damage to all enemies, high chance to inflict paralysis. That alone, solid. Then you remove disable positive special and god state and disable special state effect to Konoha allies. Not bad. This is becoming the meta since Izuna got an LP. It's not just so like being able to remove this is pretty solid. And then the funny part is the exclusive state for Kakashi, which is instant guidance. They have it, but they have a better version of instant guidance, which is doing the exact same thing, chakra cost set to 0 and allies immune to AoE, but it also grants instant action to every Konoha instead of just Team 7. So that is very good. You just put them on the team, get your instant guidance, and then everyone's taking turn. And then next you have the skill 2, Cooperation Shadow Pierce. Deals 7% plus 700,000 to target enemy. You deal 2 additional attack, dealing 7% plus 300,000 to Akatsuki enemy. I wish it was more, and I wish it was to everyone. What it does too is it's a high chance to inflict the Shadow Strangle unique state, another character that can give the unique state, and then also the Corporation of Konoha allies. So what does the unique state does is it's a Shadow Strangle, defense and speed minus 100%, gas speed minus 1, pretty good. And then when the enemy is attacking Shikamaru, you add an additional 100% to the debuff, and then another additional gas speed minus 1. That's not bad. So gas speed minus 2, and then defense and speed minus 200%. Cool, that's pretty good. And then the fun part about him is he has a built-in infinite loop. So it's just him and one other ally, and you can cause an infinite loop to happen, but it's not guaranteed. So what does Cooperation do? High chance to grant instant action to an ally Shikamaru Nara after their actions. What that does, for example, you use your S2. Yeah. You get Cooperation state to everyone, and then they get a turn. Shikamaru gets a turn. Instant guidance trigger. They get a turn. Shikamaru gets a turn. You see where that goes? It's pretty solid infinite loop, but these are PvP units. So PvP units kind of have it rough because of their cost. So let's continue. Their lead, Konoha cast speed plus 1, speed plus, and skill damage plus 100%. Not bad lead. Pretty good sub lead for 3v3. And then its ability 1, Teacher and Father's Joint Will. If there's an Akatsuki enemy, high chance to grant first strike and inflict the Shadow Strangle unique state to all enemies. So you're just gonna automatically have a -1 cast speed to all enemies. Pretty solid. And its ability 2, the Spirit of Inoshikacho. Chakra plus 250. That's a lot of chakra. Then 2 turns, chakra cost is set to 0, and then withstand plus 2. I wish that was a revive. I don't know why I said withstand. Should have been a revive. And then type advantage against blue. And new gear. Yeah, he got one. And it's skill damage plus 150%, cast speed plus 1. If there's a GK enemy, speed plus 200%. There's just no good Shikamaru unit to take advantage of that, to be honest, so that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, there's a potential 1 turn fixed damage immunity, 60% speed buff against GK, skill damage plus 100%, attack defense speed plus 25% per turn, and then cancel, skip terrain, and then half a revive. So, are they usable? I think this is another PvP unit that's just don't bother using them. It's kind of sad. it's been forever since we got a viable PvP unit. Like the first one we got was Naruto. Naruto was pretty hard to get, so like not a lot of people have him. And then Sasuke was the best character during the PvP era with 3 stages, so we like that. And then Pain was the best character in the game for a while, for like about half a year. So then after that, every unit has just been bad. I think he's just gonna join that same group of like, they're nice on your box, but they're not really useful. So, and then now to the part 4 anniversary units. The first one is Thigh Lady Temari, heroine of the Wind Blades. Just look at that art. That art has to be one of the best art in the game. Team like the team A for Gree for art design. Definitely designed this one. And these next 2 characters are gonna be in the same banner, I'm pretty sure. And after 5 multis, you have a 6% rate to get them, which is really high, where it's usually 2%. So it's pretty much, you want to do 5 multi if you really want to use them, because they introduce a brand new team to the game. So we've known Konoha, we've known Akatsuki and Nun. Naruto is a 5 village support, but that just means there are Konoha support. So there's not a lot of 5 village that's good, except now Sand Village is in the meta. Sand Village counts as a 5 village, so you're gonna run your V11 lead with the sand, and then there's your 4th team. That's your 4th team right there. You got the sand team. And how good is the sand team? Well, let's find out. So her S1, skill 1, Wind Style, Fan Flower Dance. It deals 3% plus 1.2 million to all enemies. Deal 5 additional attack, dealing 500,000 to non-5 village enemies, so that's Akatsuki and Nun. And then you remove the enemy positive special and God state. Amazing. And then you deal 2 times damage while under the God Great Wind state. That's nice for damage, because that means this should be able to one-shot LP5 unit, and then this should be able to clean up their withstand if they have it. And then if you have her LP5, you might be able to 2-shot someone with 5 revives. So, and it's always hit. It's a really strong S1. It's big DPS as well as Dispeller. We like that a lot. And then her S2, here I go. It's party attack defense speed plus 150%. And then you grant the God Great Wind God state to party. You also remove the disabled positive special and God state effect, and removing the negative special and God state to party. What that does is, I don't think there's a unit that removes this and then removes this. I think that's a first. I think this meta we're gonna understand that getting inflicted by disabled positive specials and God state is gonna be one of the worst things to ever happen. And now we have Temari, who removes that, as well as removing the debuff to your team. But what's important that might make this unit very good is they use it on their attack. So that might make Shikamaru and just Shikamaru, there's 3 of them, he gets confusing. Might make Shikamaru really good, just because he does it on attack and she does it on her buff. So we'll see. I think this is gonna be the next annoying thing in the game, and Temari can counter it, so good on her. And then her God state is damage cut plus 75% permanent. And there's a bug in the game where it don't matter. I feel like if she has the pain bug, if she gets this state up and this becomes permanent, the runs are gonna be extremely long. And then chance to grant mortality when attacked. Can't go wrong with that. And then here's the next part where I feel this game is gonna introduce a new type of way to play. Deal 7% plus 300,000 counterattack damage when attacked by skill. So you see, you grant this to your party, you get hit by an AoE, this triggers 5 times. How crazy that sounds. So that's pretty much her. So this is pretty much saying this is 5 additional attacks. Just bam, 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 bam. This might be really strong, especially if you can keep this up forever, then this is gonna be a new way to play this game, where you tank up and you let the enemy kill themselves. Then look at her damage, 78 million. That's insane. And then without the LP, it's 25. 25 is, look, that's her HP. So that's enough to one-shot alive. So then Lee, 5 village chocolate cost minus, I think that's minus 50%. I think that's a typo. And then HP regen plus 20%. It's pretty bad, but whatever. Her ability 1, insta cast skill 2 if there's a non-enemy. That's her skill 2. Grants just that. That's pretty strong, especially going second, because you're gonna have hit and then you remove that, so it's pretty solid. Then her ability 2, low chance to grant the god great wind god state when she's attacked. Withstand plus 5, but in reality that's a revive because of her potential. And then grant instant action upon withstanding. Her skill is not bad. This is weird that her ability is not carrying her, but the fact that she does damage and cleanses, she becomes her cleanser dispeller that does damage. It's also very tanky and makes her entire team tanky. I think she's really strong. Then Caltrops, of course, and her gears. Chakra cost minus 50%, attack, defense, and speed plus 100%. Pretty basic. And then her fan, cast speed plus 2, start the battle 50% chakra, and skill damage plus 150%. Not bad. And then her ability, skip immunity, cancel, 50% revive, speed plus 25% per turn, skip, cancel, 50% revive, insta kill immunity. You might want this, so you might just want to go half revive for her. And then type advantage for these, which is yellow, blue, red, and black. So what do I think about her? I think she's gonna be really annoying to fight, because she's just gonna be cleansing while killing you. That doesn't happen often. You don't get units that does both. We usually get one. Either you cleanse or you deal a lot of damage, but she's both. So that's very, very strong. That means her S1 is not like, oh, this is not really doing much, but because it is doing a ton of damage. So that's 2.4 million plus 1 million additional because of the 2 times damage. That's strong. Then her S2, you don't care about the buff really, but this god state makes your team very tanky, and if she has the pain bug where this becomes permanent, that's just toxic. And then being immune is always nice. And then this counter attack might be really fun to run, because she's not the only one that counters attack. With that, she counters attack. I think, does he counter attack? No, he doesn't counter attack. He doesn't counter attack. The new one, the next unit counter attacks. So let's go to him now. I think she's, but going back to the final thoughts about her, if you get her, she fits in your Konoha team, because she is just your cleanser. She takes the role of the cleanser DPS, and you can never go wrong with a cleanser DPS that's also very tanky. So that's pretty solid. And we go to the unit, the main unit. The unit that I really want is V2 Gada, Sand Prince of Absolute Defense. Take note, absolute defense, because that's what he is. He is a stupid defender. I don't want to fight, and he alone, not alone, him, main reason, but other units too, but he is one of the main reasons why Akatsuki is probably dead in this meta. And let's go to why is that. His skill 1, Sand Surging Waves, Nail Arrows. It deals 3% plus 1.5 million damage to all enemies. You ignore resistance and inflict a quick sand state. And then you deal 5 additional attack, dealing 500k fixed damage to all enemies. Just casually, no restriction, always happens. I think Temari has a restriction, yep, 9-5 village enemy. But this is every time, destroys enemy terrain. Bye bye Itachi. Always hit, of course. Then the quicksand. Chance to cancel per turn, not bad. Speed minus 250%, not bad. HP minus 10% per turn, that's okay. So let's break this skill down. Damage wise, that's pretty solid, especially since this damage is guaranteed. Destroy enemy terrain. If your team doesn't have any terrain removal or immunity, there's your unit. And then quicksand state is not, it's okay, but like, it's just a plus. I wish it was something like a paralysis, but that would have been stupid. So skill 1 is strong. This damage, not as much as Temari, as you can see, is only 54 million, but it destroys terrain while she removes state. So I think, I want to say Temari has a better skill 1. But as I said before, Gaara is all about the absolute defense. So let's go to that now. His a skill 2. I have no choice but to open up. It recovers 5 million HP. They remove the disable positive special and God state effect, similar to his sister. And then grant God's absolute defense God state to self. Only to himself, because you'll see why. And then protects party from single target skill. No one really runs single target, so that doesn't really matter. So let's go over this God state. What it does. HP plus 5 million percent, no, 5,000%. I don't want to say 5 million because look at that, 42 million HP. 5,000%. Defense plus 1,000%. Immune to all skills, because why not? And then this is why I said before, this counterattack might be the new thing, because if you run Temari and you run Gada, he also has a counterattack, which is deal not 1 million counterattack damage when attacked. So that's not bad. So you have Temari counterattack, you have Gada counterattacking, you have Rambu Gada giving counterattacks. Sandy's all about that counterattack. And then another part is chance to deal 2 additional attack, dealing 1 million fixed damage. So that just adds to this, and if it's like the other, that's just gonna proc at the end. No scaling, just 999,199 every turn. When using a skill attack, speed plus 1,000% one attack, so he's also very fast. Now, the best thing about this character, before we get to it, let's go back here and click this Sakura. This Sakura is in triple S tier because of one thing: remove party status effect every turn. That's one of the main reasons, but that's the biggest reason why she's in the triple S tier. Having someone who just cleanses stuff just for existing is really stupid. And now let's go back to this Gaara. Gaara has the exact same thing but on steroids. So remove debuff, genjutsu, status effect, negative special, and God state to party per turn. That's the exact same thing as Sakura. Well, Sakura is only status effect. He is all of those. Debuff genjutsu, that's okay. Status effect, probably the most important thing. Negative specials and God state, very, very strong. And then when you remove the state, he gets an instant action to put it back up if he wants. But that's not how he puts it back up. How does he put it back up? Ability 1. But before we get there, let's go over the lead. Suna and Konoha, HP and speed plus 150%, 1 turn fixed damage immunity. Don't really care about that. Or is that might be normal skill damage, I think. I don't even remember. But back to what I was saying. This is not how you put this state back up. This is how you put the state back up. It was ability 1, which is hidden power to protect. Grant the god's absolute defense and chance to grant instant action when attacked. And then the thing that kills Akatsuki, if you played in the past, there's a unit. Let me see if he's here. He's not here. But there's a unit that has a 90% damage cut when he sees a god enemy. And that unit is the very first GK Sasuke. And what did that Sasuke do to the meta? Gods did not exist. Because no one wanted to fight through 90% damage buff. Like a damage cut. No one wanted to fight that. Fights took forever. There was one unit that could one-shot him through that damage buff. And that was V1 Naruto with a 7-star. One unit. The best way to stop the Sasuke, don't bring a god. If you bring a god, your runs are like 10 to 15 minutes long. If you don't bring a god, Sasuke is like butter. You kill him in like 2 turns. Now, I say that because Gada has a damage cut of 80% if there's an Akatsuki enemy. And here's the difference between him and Sasuke in that meta. Sasuke had no revives. Gada has 5. So just imagine going through 42 million HP times 5, but reduce all your damage by 80%. But in reality, it's not really 80%. It's 80 plus 20 plus 75 plus 50 if they're black. And if we calculate that, I know that the 80 plus 75 already brings him up to a 95%. 95%. So you do 25% of that adds 1%, that turns it to 96%. He's almost 100% damage cut with all of these buffs. He might reach 99 if you're against a black enemy. So he has a lot of damage cut. If you bring in Akatsuki, and guess who's the black enemy? Konan. That's an Akatsuki. Konan you want to run, but if you run Konan to stop 5 village, is that really worth it? Is that really worth it to go through the damage cut plus 80%? I don't usually go through these units as an enemy, except for this Gada, because it's a thing. You don't want to run Akatsuki because you don't want your runs taking 20 minutes because you saw one Gada. You can insta-kill him, sure, but just remember, he's a 5 village. 5 village means V11 Naruto lead. And V11 gives Omni Protect. You give him a turn, you have first strike from Naruto lead. And then removing immune to Genjutsu, status effect, negative special, God state. Just oof. And then high chance for skill, so they'll type advantage. Just why? And then you get, so you're gonna be running him with these 2. Just insane. Oh, he insta casts S2 just in case he wants to get it off. He's just insane. And let me go through his gear. So the first gear, HP, defense, and speed plus 150%. Chakra cost minus 50%. Damage cut plus 50%. 50% damage cut. So 80, 20, 50, 75. That's a 99% damage cut. 99% damage cut. I'm just shocked. Like, how tanky do you want this unit to be? He always has 42 million HP because when you attack him, his skill goes back up. And if you inflict him with disable positive state effect, he removes it. 42 million HP. 80% damage cut. 50% damage cut. And let's go for this other gear. Cast speed plus 150%. Oh, my bad. Skill damage plus 150%. Cast speed plus 5. I can't even think right now. He's just insane. So you have cancel immunity. Skip, cancel. Insta kill, you want that. And then speed plus 200% chance. And then type advantage, yellow, blue, red, and white. This one is 2 turns illusion immunity. Nice. Chakra cost minus 50%, speed plus 25%, HP plus 100%, no more HP buff please, HP regen plus 100% per turn. Okay, that might actually be worth it, but not really because you want illusion. Not really actually. I think Naruto gives illusion immunity, right? think that's the party. I'm pretty sure that's the party. So yeah, I don't think you need that. You could just go 20% HP regen because you just want to live forever. 42 million HP. What the hell? Then same yellow, blue, red, and white. So after just reading that, what do I think about this Gada? Good luck killing him. And if you have him, what does he bring? He brings Sakura stuff on steroids. So he's useful for you as he destroys terrain. He's tanky, counters attack, more damage, speed if you get attacked. You're gonna get attacked because he's so tanky, so he's always gonna have the speed. And then you have Sakura's nonsense, of course. And yeah, damage, quicksand is not bad. Damage, nice. And then here's another thing that I really didn't go through. Because this recovers, his AI is gonna want to heal often. So he has so many ways to get this up. And this. That's just crazy. So like if I think about this, 42 million HP. So an LP5 Gada can only kill one of his life bar. Now let's go through here. Just a little bit. Let's back up. People are gonna be saying, oh, GK Itachi can just one-shot him. How does he do that? How does he do that? Look at his legendary potential damage. 49 million. Calculator. Let's do the math. You hit 4978294 times. Let's say Gada has nothing except for his 80% damage buff. So you do 200%, that's 900. That's 1 million damage. Or is it 9 million? Hold on, I think I missed a 0. 4978294 times 0.2. That's 10 million, right? That's 80% damage cut. It's only 10 million. That's 1/4 of his HP. But let's say Gada has his 80%. And then 20% of the 50% damage cut, which adds another 10%. So now he has 90% damage. And then we go back to here. You do 4978294 times 0.1. You do 5 million damage. But that's not all. What if Temari's on the team and Temari gets her damage buff up? So now what's 75% of 10% time? That's 7.5, so now that's 97.5% damage cut. So that again, 49782. Let's see, 4978294 times 0.25. No, 0.025. There you go. Now Itachi's doing 1 million damage. 1 million, and that's max LP. If yours is not max LP, you do 6 million. 6660209 times 0.025. You're doing 166,000 damage to Gada. 166,000 damage out of 42 million. Do you want to do that? I don't know if you want to run that. And then let's say you have another nun. Not another nun. You have Pain. Pain is 66 million. Ooh. So 666,61936 times 0.025. That's 1.6 million. Now, people are gonna say this. Oh, let's just use the Enbu, Nagato, and Itachi. Let's just make it so we hit him with the Koto Amatsukami state. There's a counter to that. You know what that counter is? Protection or protector. You can probably find yourself a protector that will protect that Gada. I'm not sure who that is. Does this Gada protect? I don't think so. But there's probably units in this game that can protect. Not sure who that unit can be. Well, here's one, Sai. You bring him instead of a Kizuna if you want. Grants protection state, nice. Or you want to be toxic, you can bring this Madara. One thing we have to go over to now, that Nun-type is not only good as a team, but Nun-type has the best filler units in the game, or floater units in the game. So let's go back to the team building. Let's say you're running Naruto, Sand. Now you have one more 90 cost to put on your team. You run a floater. You can run this floater. You can run Enbu floater. Or you can run Izuna floater. That works. Because now you're stopping their Nagato or Itachi every time. And then you can just kill him before he gets a turn. And if you're the other way around, sure, you can counter them with that. But then again, what if it doesn't hit? If it doesn't hit, now he has the time to set up. You got a time to set up. They got a time to set up. Useless. So, this Gada, if I were to rank him with all the 90 costs in the game, I want to say Madara is still your best 90 cost. Because he just brings so much. Set HP to 0, illusion, cast speed -5. But the second best is probably Naruto still because of that lead. That lead is a first strike for everyone. And that works with Gaara because he's a 5 village. And then after that, I want to say Gaara is your third best. And is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Gaara is just going to be that toxic unit that won't die. And especially if you're running a Akatsuki. And if you're not running an Akatsuki, you're dealing with a built-in 50% damage cut. But either way, if you don't run Akatsuki or if you do, he will have damage cut, which means your damage needs to be, you need to do twice the amount of damage just to kill him. So if this 42 million, that's a lie. That's technically 80 million because of how much damage you gotta do. And if you're in Akatsuki, that's a 90% damage cut. That's the exact same as Juke Sasuke back in his prime. Good luck killing him in one shot. You can insta-kill him. That's probably the way to do it, but he has insta-kill immunity, which you want to run all the time. This unit is just insane, and probably one of the most toxic units to fight now. Because he also counters attack, so now you're killing yourself when you hit him. And if you remove the state, that don't matter because it's coming right back up. So there's really no point to remove the state. It'll always be up. His HP will always be 42 million. His S1 is his less thing, but it deals damage. So if he gets that off, you might die as well. In 3v3, he will one-shot you. In PvP, he probably won't, but we can't one-shot him. We can do our best for Koto Amatsukami. We're running Akatsuki, but just run protectors. He's a protector too. So if he doesn't even get this up, you just need someone to protect him in the beginning. I think the other Gaara is a protector, right? Yeah, protect party from single target skills. Is Kushina a protector? I thought she was. God Shield. Where's the God Shield? Yeah. Kushina's a protector. Kushina is a protector. Kushina is back in the meta. Well, she was never in the meta, but she's usable. If you want to run pure 5 village, there's your team. Let's go back to this. So Naruto, Gaara, Temari, and Kushina. Kushina's actually good. Let me go over what Kushina does quick. So why you want to run this Kushina? Single target. That's not bad, because that's not why you want to run her. You just want to run her because of the God Shield. All you care about is the God Shield, which is damage cut. Oh, let's go back. God Shield. Pretty much Omni Protection. So she can't get hit by Koto Amatsukami. Damage cut plus 90%. We already talked about how good that is. Protect all allies from single target attacks. And when a tank grants a yeah, Kushina, that's your team. Does she have? Yeah, 3 withstands. Does she have revive? Half a revive. And she just got an LP. Oh my goodness. Kushina. I didn't even think about that. But now, people with Koto Amatsukami can't even target him. Because Kushina is protecting. That's just insane. Well, Kushina got some love. At the end of the day, what's the best thing about happening in this 2 units? Kushina got a buff. So with that, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.